So behind me, we have my 2003 E46 M3. Listen guys, I love the G80, right? I love it. I think it drives perfect. However, this thing was actually my dream car. This was the poster car. And I've had it for 2 years now. Sitting perfect, OEM plus. Let's take a look and see some of the features on this car. I think I'm going to leave the driving elements to a separate video, as there's quite a bit to get around on this one and I don't want to bore you in, so I'm going to split it up into 2 videos. So firstly, let's talk about the color. So this is finished in a Titan silver. So when I was picking this car, it was either Titan silver, Laguna Seca blue, or to be fair, these are the only colors, maybe a white. As Nobu is demonstrating here, we've put the CS style alloys on here. And what you also notice is that this thing is sitting perfect. So it's got gas gold coilovers on. This thing now drives crazy. It's had a full geo done to it, and honestly it knocks the G80 out the park in terms of handling, the way it feels with weight distribution, everything. But the aesthetic of this looks perfect. I don't know if you can see here, but look, it's just sitting absolutely perfect. Could maybe benefit with slight spaces on the front, but how it's set up now is great. And if you come to the back, literally tucked perfectly in the wheel arch, and there's no rubbing, probably because there was a bit of rust under there. Yeah, no rubbing at all. The car is very, very clean. I think the only bit of damage on it is this slight mark here, and I did not know how that happened, but the camera's not even picking it up. That's how minor it is. And don't get me wrong, there's a few TLC bits that we'll get into, but yeah, the stance on this car is perfect. That's the thing that gets the most comments on this, is the stance, the way it sits, and when it's rolling as well. Anytime we pull up after, somebody's like, yo, this thing sits perfect on the road. And it's not too low here, but I was thinking about getting the little CS splitter, carbon splitter on the front, but I'm unsure. But let me know in the comments what you think. Before we dive in anymore, a bit of background on the car. It's got a few owners on it. However, when looking for these things, the most important things is the service history. It's got full service history on this car, never missed a year. It's been parked in the garage a lot of its life. The recent owner before me had it from 2017, and yeah, you could tell he looked after his cars. He had a few M cars as well, got everything done to it, didn't cheap out on things that needed to be done. And like myself, I've spent the money on it, got everything perfect on it. Mechanically, this drives like it just drives like it's new. Like mechanically, it is perfect. There's no need for the vanos to be done yet, or the rod bearings. I think I'd get the rod bearings done precautionally at around maybe 105,000 miles, or just over 100,000 miles. So we're about 5,000 to 10,000 miles away from doing the rod bearings. But it got checked over at BMR down in Dartford. They're like an E46 specialist, and yeah, they said everything's fine. Just obviously they recommended maybe doing the rod bearings when the time comes, as I just said, and also reinforcing the boot floor subframe, which is common on these. Like every single one needs to be done, but I don't track the thing, so right now we're all good. As I said, it's just a real clean example. Bumper's got a few marks on it, as you'd expect, but when I do come around to getting the notorious rear arches done, I'll sort that out. I don't want to do too much painting on the car, but yeah, rear arches need to be doing. As you can see, got a bit of rust here. When you come up close, this side is the worst. But yeah, not easily fixable, but it is fixable and can be done. And once that's done, then I think we've got a very, very clean E46. This side isn't too bad at all. You've got a small bit of surface rust here, rest is underneath. But yeah, the arches are literally the only thing. But unfortunately, there's nothing you can do with these cars. They are just notorious for it. So under the hood, we have the legendary S54 3.2 inline 6, which is an absolute monster. I've seen people supercharge these things, turbo them. It's nuts. I think the only thing I'd do to this engine is put a CSL or even Cherry intake on it. Other than that, I would never touch it. Original strut brace, everything here, never been painted up around here. Just real clean example. As I said, never had any problems. Literally picked up today from the garage. The only thing that was needed was the wheel bearings, which got done, front wheel bearings, an ABS sensor, which is all minor stuff, and it flown through the MOT as well. But this engine is just nuts. When we do the driving video, I'm gonna have to show you the sound, because the rasp, and we'll get some exterior shots, some drive-bys, and you can hear like how the intake sounds. But as I said, once the even Cherry intake's on, it will be sounding even better. In regards to the spec inside, we have Harman Kardon speakers as well, got folding mirrors. You've got the rear sunblind at the back, which actually goes up, which is pretty cool. Embroidery or embossed in the headrest, which I believe standard. Electric seats with memory seats. That's my steering lock, by the way. And the back of the seats has just literally never been sat in. They are in such good condition. And it's just little things that I like about the BMWs, where the leather trim wraps all around here. Just every time someone has got in the back, when I have had people occasionally, they've said it's really comfy, and they do notice this thing here. It's got the original M mats as well. Put the kick plate on the side. The only thing I did change, I changed out the phone holder to the cup holders. It was like a phone thing that went here, and then this bit here is original. It's got the coin thing at the back. Hazard lights there. Your windows buttons are all in the center console. Everybody is looking over here when they are trying to do the windows. Have to remind them it's here. And then the rear windows, you've got them windows that open up just a little bit on the side where they go out with the cassette player, which I had to get used to. No CD player, but I've got a little Bluetooth device that plugs into the CD changer, which is in the boot. So you take the CD changer out, put the Bluetooth device in. Quite expensive actually, it was like 60-70 quid, but that does give clear audio through the Harman Kardon speakers. Steering wheel, you've got the buttons here to change the music, which actually does work with the Bluetooth, and we've got cruise control as well, which is pretty cool. The way this thing drives is just so good. I can't wait to do the driving video. Heated seats, you've got a sport button, which makes the throttle a bit more responsive, tire sensor light, and then you've got the speakers, which just, I believe it just enhances the bass, traction control, and yeah, all the climate controls here, which work perfect. And then I've just got a little phone holder there, because obviously no Apple CarPlay in this. Nice and refreshing just to have these dials, just straightforward rev counter, no sat nav, anything like that. It's just such a good experience when coming out the G80, getting into something like this, because the contrast is really good. When we do go onto the driving video, I will give my opinions and thoughts on this car. But one thing I can say is that now it is on the coilovers, it's not the most comfortable thing for like daily driving if you're commuting every day on bumpy roads. However, I get this thing on a country road, and honestly, I can't explain how direct this car feels. It's probably the best platform out of all the M cars to drive. It just feels perfect in terms of chassis and handling, and you have to get used to driving a naturally aspirated car, because in something like the G80 you've got the turbos to help you, and they kick in pretty early. But in this, you have to really get up the rev limiter, use the rev counter to get the full power out of this thing. When I was dailying it, when I had a little crappy dinger at the time that I was using, and I was kind of dailying this as well, it did get annoying, because obviously the age of the car, the cars I'm used to obviously have an M2 competition, GLC 43, etc. So this was annoying to drive. But now, where it's just a weekend car, or when the sun's out, I just get it out of the garage, because this thing is literally just sits in the garage under a cover. Yeah, when I do get this thing out, it's just a joy to drive, and nice break from the modern tech and the turbos, and it does get a lot of compliments. The G80 does get a good bit of attention, but this gets different attention. You notice like an older crowd and stuff like that come up to you and give you compliments, and when somebody does come and talk to you about it, it's because they know their cars, and it's a bit of nostalgia for them. But yeah, that is my E46 M3. Let me know in the comments what else you guys want to see on the car, if there is anything you want to see. We will be doing the driving video, we'll get some POV driving as well, and I might do a pure straight comparison with the G80 as well, get them side by side, and we'll go from there. Thanks for the reception on the last video, the M Car Meet. Again, let me know in the comments if you did want to do an M Cars and Coffee. If you guys want to join us, let me know. Keep up to date. I always post it on my TikTok or Instagram if we're doing anything. But yeah, that's been Views of LB. That's been my E46 M3. Thanks for watching.